partner said, oh, good day, family. Hold on just a minute. Let me light some Palo Santo for everybody because we outside. Oh, we outside? Yeah. I got me some small buckets. I really we need the 5-gallon buckets so we can get 35 carrots or bell peppers or whatever. But this right here, when it get to growing, I'll probably repot it in a bigger pot. But that's all I could get. So I got a couple. I got 3 of those. Yeah, let's put some Palo Santo in there for everybody. And then, yep, I got me a little piece of secret. Hold yourself now. You won't see it often, but yeah, I was having a look. And this just to put it in the air. I probably should have came out here and lit it the other night when we heard that little ruckus going on. Yeah. Should have put some in the air then. And go on and do it, family. We got to do everything. It ain't hurting nobody. Good day. It's good to see y'all. Let me get some shout outs because I do want to pot this and stuff. I really just went out to the car and got the buckets because they were still in the car. Good day, Layla. It's so good to see you. Everybody, I'm so glad y'all here. I hope you want to hear about the ancestors. I hope that's why you're here. Don't be misleading and stuff and be sitting where you ain't supposed to be because that's going to be your downfall to be where you're not supposed to be at this time. Let me get my little holder. Put this on. It smells so good. It smells so good, Palo Santo do. I didn't know about Palo Santo till I started listening to Dr. Yaki. This is what it looks like, the wood. I like the wood also, but you can get the incense. And I'm so glad I learned from Sister that these incense can give you cognitive issues. I still got little pieces of wood left, so I'm going to be burning them till I can get me some more. But it's okay to burn these. We outside. Yeah. Set it right over here so the smoke can go. Yeah, it can go in and get where it needs to get. Let me go ahead and do this real fast. Today I'm going to plant this. I don't remember if this was a potato. I think, yeah, it had to be a potato. A sweet potato, maybe. I think this was a sweet potato, y'all. It's got some roots growing out on it. Look kind of, look rough. But it just been sitting in water. I just put it in water. I feel like turn off all of the roots. Let me see if I can show it to you. See them roots hanging right there on it? It's just in one spot, though. I do want to turn them off because it's got one right there on the side and one long root. That right there, I guess that right there is gonna be another potato. I don't know. I'm just gonna plant it and see. I had these little bitty ones right here also. And they just food grade pails. Yeah. Just make sure some type of food was in them. Yogurt, pudding, whatever. And yeah, I'm gonna just push it down off in there as far as I can. And then add some soil. Let me see if I can set this up. And then add some soil on top of it. Ooh, I think that was all of the soil. In that bag. I remember I bought them other bags. And this is the roughage. This ain't that fine seed soil. That's much finer and fluffy. I like that. But I think I'm just now getting it. That soil is for your seeds when you're starting out. Like this right here. Buy this at Walmart. It's got 72 cells to it. And yeah, just put one seed off in each one. 1 or 2 seeds off in each one. And yeah, I just brought everything out here because I'm going to lay this. I guess you can come outside. That's where we get. Come on, man. I'm going to put this right here over my plastic in the kitchen. It's just some self-adhesive liner. I'm just gonna put it on the plastic and smooth it down. That way, when I do take my garden back inside, it'll have this right here up under it and stuff. Yeah, just some stuff I got at the thrift store. And then I got that big old bag. So I'm just gonna add some of this on top of that potato right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a bigger bucket for this potato. Maybe I could get some when I come home today. You just set up your little area for your garden, your vegetable garden. Set up your little area to be a corner of the house, a corner of the room. And see, in this little cabinet I got some cilantro and okra growing off in these little things. You just want to keep them out of gardening. I did start some gardening, remember. Keep them out of direct sunlight. I don't get direct sunlight, so I think this will be okay when I do decide to bring it out here. I'm looking for my cutters. Here we go. I'm just going to cut this plastic right here so I can add some soil on top of it. Just to feel like you're doing something for yourself. That effort right there goes a long way. And our people, actually, I remember when my grandmothers and my great aunties had little small gardens, had little stuff growing in the windowsill, just started out in some water. We got away from all of our teachings, our lessons. Gave all our keys away. They just mean you got to get it back. Yep. Of course, some of this. Yeah, get everything that you need to get. If you can, y'all, get you some of them solar panels. You can also get portable solar panels. Yep, when you go, you can take them with you. And during the daytime, you know, they're going to soak up energy from the sun. And at nighttime, they're going to illuminate, give you some light. When the time is right, we'll be able to use electricity in our bodies. And we'll be able to illuminate. Just us, our bodies, us. But we got to be in the right physical state, the right spiritual state, and the right mental state for that to happen. I know. Just be glad you're out. We've been so misled in life. Oh, I've learned about the 10%. Not the 10%. I'm talking about the entertainers. The 10%. I think I was thinking about the 5%. But the 10%, the entertainers, that they chose the 10% to entertain them and keep us distracted. And I was like, well, who was talking about that? Pastor Stephen Darby, I think. He's good too now. I like him too. I like everybody that's trying to tell us the truth and stuff. I love them. I honor them. I salute them. I give my credit to them. So yeah, I give them credit. I sure do for telling us the truth. But I come up with my own thoughts. You know, yeah. Try to think for myself. We all need to. Anybody that don't want you to think for yourself, Black America, honey, they ain't for you. They against you more than anybody. I'm going to, I'm going to pour that water in there, but I'm going to get some fresh water. After this stuff. I know I started doing this at the last minute. And I sure said we were going to start reading. But then I was like, yeah, I better get my garden. Continue working on your garden. I don't care if it's one pot at a time. Let me set this on top of this plant. I don't know if I got people living under me or not, but I don't want water to drain on their patio. Because, honey, the other day I was backing up. I was coming in or leaving. And the people up on the higher floor, honey, they dog came outside and pissed. And the piss went down on the people downstairs. Damn near went all in their grill and stuff. Because they had their barbecue grill sitting on the patio. Yeah. So, yeah, when I seen her, I told her, I said, she was sitting on the step because they were barbecuing at the house, at that apartment. But the lady was sitting on the step, sister was. And I said, sister, you live right there? And she said, yeah, they were barbecuing stuff. I said, well, maybe have your neighbor to put some plastic or something down because that dog almost pissed on your grill. Just to let her know, yeah, it can easily be solved and stuff. Them babies be sitting there eating pissy ass meat, hamburgers, chicken and stuff. They gonna think it's just regular seasoning. I mean, just be mindful of people. Just be mindful of people. Shit, I wouldn't want to walk downstairs 2, 3, 4 times a day either. You take your ass out the pit. Teach them how to use the bathroom. Everybody else doing. You don't see videos, cats. Got little steps and everything leading up to the toilet. And honey, the cat just sit there and squat and then get off and go back down the steps and go about their business. Piss dripping everywhere. I'm just saying. Yeah, I look at him sometimes and wonder. If I don't like him all over everything in my house. No, you cannot be up on nothing. Just because you got 4 legs and you can jump, don't mean you should. Not in here. He won't do all that stuff. He have to go somewhere else. Yeah. I mean, at the other place, he did have that cat tree, and it was pretty high. I'll get him another one. But until then, yeah. You don't need to be doing all that, not in the house. I already think I'm seeing cat hair just flying through the air and stuff. Like, you know, every time they take out running and stuff, hair and dandruff and stuff, it's just falling off of just, yeah. Okay, I think I did it, y'all. I covered it up real good, too. Put some more soil on top because it was peeking out. I think this is a sweet potato. I'm going to label it. Put a sweet potato and put the date on it. And that fine soil, I ended up putting that in here. I do want to pour it back in the bag and wait. Because when these right here sprout up a little bit, I'll take this soil and put it on top of them until they're ready for me to take them out, until they done started sprouting. And I got to take them out of these little cell spots and put them in some regular potting plants that they're going to grow in. So I'm going to have to keep this. I'll spend all my money. Sure will on this garden, the school. I sure will. I'll try to get you something from time to time. Yeah. Let's just get ready for whatever it's going to be so we can be comfortable. We can have some sense of, wellness to work with, to sustain our minds, our bodies, our bellies. We're going to have to. And I just ask the ancestors what little bit I'm doing. Let it be fruitful for me. I know it will. I ask my ancestors. I talk to them. I thank them. I trust them. I ain't got to go out my way and make this difficult to be able to survive because we're here now because we're supposed to survive. We got to have some action with it, though. We got to have some action with our learning, with our evolving. And this my action. My garden is my action. Talking to us, reading to us, teaching us stuff. That's my action. When my grandbabies come over, if they do decide to come over, their mom and daddy might have to make them come over here. And that's fine with me. Yeah, if you don't want to read and stuff, you still can't get on your phone. It's going to be in the basket and I'll turn it off. But for now and stuff, Phones are banned at my home, at my house. Grandbabies come over and study. You ain't come over here to stare at your phone and scroll. So then you came over here to learn and go home with some type of knowledge so you could be able to help at home. Be able to help at home, even if you're the only one with your little carrot pot and you tending to your carrots. Soon as you pull them 7 carrots out of there, everybody gonna want one. So, I'm just letting them know what it is and stuff. They don't want to come over here, fine. But when you do, we're going to be doing something. You ain't got to read. Come on out here and get started with your pot. Get started with your little individual garden, with your family garden that is going to harvest and grow into. Just give them some ideas. We got to inspire them and motivate them. So, y'all, I seen Detroit era starting off the 2025. Yep, starting off the Community 2025. I didn't finish watching it and stuff, but yes, I love Era Detroit, honey. That's what we need to be doing. That's what we were supposed to been doing. Yep, they got the model. I bet you their model is probably the Black Panther self-defense plan. I don't know. I just seen them one day and I was like, wow, my brothers. That's the vision I got for us everywhere. New Era Detroit is doing it. Why come these people didn't steer us that way here since they got the wheel? Why they didn't steer us this way, encourage us and motivate us and, really give us sincere advice since they so helpful to us? I mean, after all this time and stuff, all the Georges still being lynched and stuff, Now we right up on it. A new policing. A new type of policing. Makes me sick about stuff. Okay, let me see what we're doing. I think we're done here. Let me just put some water. Yeah, I'm using my strainer because I can't find no one of them flower things. Just keep them moist while you got them. The ones that you seeded and you waiting for them to give some sprout. It said just keep them moist. It ain't really no sunlight here, so. Oh, and I found that table, y'all. I was looking for a table that'll cover the length of the wall. It'll probably fit right there. See, it's long enough. It'll probably fit between this dresser and that corner right there. So it's pretty long. And I got it sitting right here. Oh, I can't wait to decorate this right here. It's going to be so wow. I want to be able to hang stuff, too. Come by and see some tomatoes. I see anybody look hungry, I'll throw you a tomato out there. Catch. Yep. Yep. Anybody coming by and stuff, and I pick a tomato off that vine, catch. Yep. You need a little stir fry or something, I'll throw you a potato, a bell pepper, onion. Yeah, carrot. Simple stir fry. Okay, let me put some water on these little cells right here. I'm supposed to put this in here. Yes. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. When y'all start doing your garden, at least show some videos. Let us see. Yeah. We all doing this. Don't be stingy with your harvest. Yeah. I want enough so that way y'all will be able to give somebody something. So, yeah, let's not be stingy with friends, family, neighbors, anybody. Not just our people, any people. Yeah, honey, that first harvest I get, anybody on them corners ask me for $1, I got you a stir fry. We get some little individual packets, y'all, like welcome baskets. Remember welcome baskets when people move in? Your mama would take them a welcome baskets with a few little items in it and stuff for the house. Well, welcome gardens. Yep, just get a little bag like my incense bag that I'm probably gonna get rid of. Cause them incense ain't good on the inside and stuff. Make sure you got plenty of ventilation. But yeah, just a little garden bag. And put your little stuff off in a packet of seeds. You can put your soil in a Ziploc bag if you're gonna start somebody off with one of these little ones. Yeah, put a little soil in a Ziploc bag. Get like a quart-sized Ziploc bag and let them know this right here is for to start it off. When you repot it, you got a little extra soil to put it in something a little bigger. And then, by then and stuff, hopefully they done realize that, yeah, I'm actually growing. And they can go ahead and start putting initiative into their garden and stuff. Yeah, just little stuff like that. Be very impactful. Very impactful. And the one that tell me, nah, I don't want no damn garden. I need $1. Um, Somebody else gonna have to give you that $1, but I have this garden bag for you when you want that. Because yeah, I want us to be able to feed ourselves. I ain't got no money either. Shit. I ain't got no money. Sure don't, honey. I'm broke too. Yep. But my ancestors make a way for me. Yeah, I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I thank them for the little bit they do give to me. I appreciate it, honey, that they show me and stuff. I know who loved me and who cried for me, who suffered for me. For me. I know what my black Jesus look like. I know what my Jesus look like, y'all. Look just like me. Just like my dad, my brothers, my cousins. I know exactly what black Jesus looks like to me. Yeah, I'll paint your white Jesus black. Sure will. I won't be rude or nothing to you, but I need you to understand that this whole illusion has been broken. Everybody trying to get you to see the truth. I wonder if I can put some of this out here on the patio. No, because then I would be able to sweep it up. No, it's doing too much. It's doing too much. Just do what little bit you can, what you need. Ooh, wait. I can't wait till we make that first stir fry, honey. Yes, honey, we're going to celebrate with them 5 carrots. Sure will. We're going to celebrate with them 5 carrots out of that bushel. Thank you, ancestors. Yeah, gratitude. I know, y'all. It's all right. I'm going now. If you got to go, I will see you the next time and stuff, but I'm probably going to try to read a little bit. But I got to get this done. When you got to get your work done, you go ahead and do it. You go ahead and do it. Everything else going to keep on going. I forgot who I was listening to, and they were mentoring us and talking to us, and they were saying everything that happened in your life and stuff, you can't let it stop you. And you can't be upset and bitter and sideways at the world and society because it keeps going. You just got to keep going through it. Whatever it is, however it is, if you need to take your rest, your break, your hibernation, your isolation, do it for you. So you can settle down somewhat. And then you just keep going. You keep going. You can catch up. You can catch up. You just can't be left behind. I'm just saying, Black America. Yeah, I am just saying. Now that right there is that. I'm gonna set him down there because he ain't allowed near my vegetables. You're not allowed near my garden. I want you to know right here, right now. And I got a couple of these right here. These are cucumbers. These right here is spinach. Now, when the shoots come up, I'm gonna have to have something wide enough. The cucumbers are gonna go in a deeper pail. I'm gonna need to get them 5 gallons because cucumbers now, little cucumbers is okay. I can deal with some little cucumbers if that's what it's gonna give. Oh, y'all, I might do an experiment. Put some in here and put some in a 5 gallon. That way I see. I think the size of the container determines the size of your harvest. Whether you're gonna have big carrots, adult size carrots and cucumbers and stuff, or them little mini ones. But yeah, let me put a little water on them too, just to keep them a little moist, like you see. I did buy some spray bottles, but I need one of those things like a strainer. And everywhere I went, they did not have one. Yeah, and I was thinking, dang, if I had a hot glue gun, I'd make my own. Yeah, just try to let it get real hot and poke holes in the bottom of something. And that way, when you put the water in and stuff, it'll strain for you. Just like your strainer you use in the kitchen. I think that's it. Okay, let me take this back in here, and then we coming on the inside. Get us a little knowledge going. Y'all. These right here are some little garlics now. That garlic over there, I just threw it in there and some soul. But these, ooh, look, oh my ancestors, thank you. I put these little garlics in some water. Look at them little bitty roots. Can you see them little bitty roots on it? Oh, thank you, my ancestors. I thank you. I love you. Yes, I love my ancestors. Y'all do it. Do it. You ain't got nothing to lose but everything to grow. I'm just saying. Let me take off my glasses so I can see. I had these in some water. Oh, this one right here got roots. When you put it in a little water, y'all, it'll bring the roots out quicker. I'm just peeling the shell off of them. But you can just throw it in some soil too. It'll take a little longer, for it to actually pop out that root, but it will. Mm, mm, mm. Thank you, my ancestors. And they just been sitting in there for a few days. Yeah. I'm ready to plant them now, and I'm ready to stick them in some dirt. I sure am. Yes, George Washington Carver. Yeah. I gotta find out what all I can do with these potatoes, honey, and I'm gonna do it too. Yeah, we're gonna have boiled potatoes, steamed potatoes, yeah, fried potatoes, yeah, stir fried potatoes, fruit potatoes, juice potatoes. Look, oh, I got some more garlic in there too. I might as well go and put them in some water. That way, whoever I give them to, they're already. Ooh, what's that on there right there? I'm gonna have to cut that little piece off. See, that little imperfection right there. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna have to go on and cut it off. Yeah. I feel like throwing the whole thing away. But you gotta preserve stuff. Yeah, I throw away some blemished chicken. When I was eating chicken and stuff, yeah, I won't see that dark spot. It's probably just where it was bruised or something like that. But yeah, it's just too much. But yeah, honey, we gotta get used to keeping stuff, reusing stuff, composting. Yep, I got one of our sisters some rubber lids for some mason jars, because I think she said something about making preservatives like jelly. And so I seen them rubber lids to them mason jars, and I was like, hey, let me get these for sister. And she get the jars and stuff. If I see some jars, I get it for her. Look at them roots. And y'all see them roots on there. Ooh wee. Honey, yes. Thank you, my ancestors. So if I'd have left them in there, I'm thinking, should I throw them down there? That's just a shell. I toss it in the trash. But any seeds and stuff, honey, I'm start throwing seeds out in my yard. Well, everybody yard. Shit, everybody yard. I'm start throwing seeds down there. That packet of zucchini that fell is still down there. When I do go around the side, I'm just gonna rip it open and just let the seeds be. Put them in my hand and blow them like dandelions. And they're gonna be zucchini growing there. They'll go, what is this? Yeah, that's dinner tonight. Okay, this a little bitty one right here. Even this little one got a root growing on it. Now, see, when I do plant these, I'm gonna plant the root down. See that root right there? They real tiny. They real little. But you see them? I'm gonna plant these down because the root's gonna go down. And as they grow and spread out through the soil, it's gonna give more garlic. Thank you, ancestors. Yes, thank you, my ancestors. More garlic is gonna be coming. Oh, we Davis be out here on the porch and stuff. I don't want to toss it out there. Some child put it in their mouth and stuff. I just toss it. Yeah. Well, it fell out on the porch and stuff. But yeah. So let me just put this in some soil real fast. Y'all put it back in some water. We're gonna see how fast these little roots grow when you put your beginnings. And it's just regular garlic from the store. Come on, we're going on the inside so we can read. Oh, maybe we'll read out here. Let me put these in some water. Yeah, we already set up. Let's get the book. Read outside. Oh man, I called myself 75 and said it wrong. Oh shit. Okay, y'all had to give me some water. And we got it. So I just got some. The tap water ain't too bad here, but I really need to get my water filtration system. Cause yeah, when you move to different places, they got better water. Go figure. The water just tastes different in some places and stuff. You know why? But I digress. I'm looking for a copyright disclaimer because you know I still have memorized. gotta put some water in them 3 right there. And I will. Yeah, I don't want to overwater them though. Just every other day and stuff. I just put a little water on them just to keep them moist. Hey, Shantae, it's so good to see you, my sister. Good day, JR. It's so good to see you. And hello, Elijah Farrakhan. Elijah Farrakhan. I love Farrakhan too. All the way from the UK. Ooh, where we get around. Yes, honey. But we got to stick together, though. We got to stick together. Yeah, the world ain't that big. But y'all, let's get to reading and stuff because I might do a little bit more planting and stuff. I might go by Walmart and get me some more of this seed starting soil. That's what you need when you first starting is that the seed starting soil. I threw it away the bag because it's real fine. And the little the root, the sprout can come up through that soil. Now, once it get going, like with this potato right here, I did put that potato in some of that rough soil. Ooh, they're gonna be fighting their way to get up through there. What to do? I probably could take it out and put it in some soft soil. It's a big potato though. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to reading and stuff. It's exciting. I might ask somebody. You know they'll tell you. Yes, honey, that's gonna break a whole lot of ice. When I ask one of our elders and stuff, what am I gonna do with this big potato I'm growing and stuff? And we already know the fundamentals of, the introductions and stuff. Just know that's why we're here. That's why we're here. And the copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. I hope somebody getting that good prana. What is it? Palo Santo. Oh, I was listening to what's his name? Ralph Smart. Yeah, breathing in that good ass prana. I know, right? Yep, I like him too. So we got that out the way and stuff. We can go right on into reading. Yep. And we are reading more Dirty Little Secrets. Yeah, about Black history, its heroes, and other troublemakers. By Dr. Claude Anderson and his son Brent. See, I know. The babies will love this book just looking at the cover of it. Just looking at the cover. And yesterday we read about Frederick Douglass. And I forgive him too. I love Frederick Douglass. I forgive him too. All our ancestors and stuff. And what he said, it's like they still holding on to what he said, to just leave Black Americans alone. Don't give us nothing. Don't try to help us. Let us help ourselves. And white America literally took that for the forever word to go by as far as our reparations. And then it seemed like once they learned about benign neglect, that I didn't know nothing about that either. But benign neglect or benign neglect is like when they tell you they're going to do something and you expecting them to do it. So now that's why they don't say, well, we will do this and we will do that. Because they know if they say we will pay reparations, we're going to be looking for it. So they just beat all around the bush and they do studies and, they have conferences and waste more time. Oh, honey, look at that big bee. Oh, you won't bite me today. I know he gone that way. I mean it. But yeah, that was what benign neglect means. Stuff. All of these phrases and terms and stuff. Somebody come up to you and just mention that and you don't even know what it means and stuff, like a meritorious manumission. I have heard that before, but never knew what it was and stuff. Black Americans in unprotected and unprotected class. The United States Constitution codified the exclusion of 3 groups of people: Blacks, American Indians, and women from enjoying the full benefits of living in the land of opportunity. The country's founding fathers authorized these exclusions for the sole purpose of handicapping these groups. However, over the course of the last 2 centuries, 200 years, government has sought to make amends with American Indians and women by placing them in legally protected classes. They ain't done nothing for us. Nothing. With a U. Government policies stipulate that Indians deserve to be protected by the government because they were weak, poor, and defenseless. I read some years ago they considered using the Indians as the slaves, but they knew they couldn't. The Indians had bows and arrows, and they knew the land. So the Indians weren't the ones that would be most easily to enslave. So they didn't use the Indians. But here, it says that the government seen them as weak, poor, and defenseless. Guess that's what cowards do. How cowards feel, I don't know. Therefore, after the Indian Wars ended, Indians were put in a protected class and placed under a doctrine of trust. What the hell is that? A doctrine of trust? Sound like a restriction to me. If you want to get out of that doctrine of trust, I'm just saying, let's read. This made them wards of the government. The federal government provided Indians with land, medical assistance, tuition-free education, housing, social services, publicly funded bureaus, and tax-exempt status. The Indians don't pay no taxes. Contrary, at slavery's end, government abandoned Black ex-slaves, leaving them poor, disorganized, homeless, ignorant, jobless, landless, defenseless, and without tools or animals. American Indians received more for having fought whites than Blacks received for having enriched, labored, and cared for whites. Wow, ain't that some shit? Women, like American Indians, are in a protected class. In the United States Constitution, the founding fathers legally limited women because they were considered an extension of the white male, her protector. Through the centuries, the court system, social chauvinism, and cultural customs have kept white women, along with their children, in a protected class. White women co-owned, co-controlled, co-influenced, and inherited nearly 100% of everything white men own. And in some states, white women had the right to vote 250 years before Black women. Black women and their children, like Black men, were in an endangered class rather than a protected class. And we still in an endangered class. We still are exposed, vulnerable to white people. White people are a threat to us. Maybe not individually. You don't experience it, you don't see it, you don't feel it, you can't tell it. But on the whole, look at the bigger picture. No group was any worse off than ex-slaves. But the federal government did not place ex-slaves under protective doctrine of trust. The Freedmen's Bureau was an acknowledgement by the government that Blacks deserved to be placed in a protected class. And the Freedmen's Bureau, all that money that Black people had saved, like $4 million, y'all, in like 10 years or something like that. We'll see. And white folks stole all that money, every dime and dollar. They stole it. Yes, they did, honey. The Freedmen's Bureau was an acknowledgement by the government that Blacks deserved to be placed in a protected class. It wasn't the Freedmen's Bank. We're going to see it again. If I run across the notes, I'll have that too. Under authorization of the U.S. War Department in May 1865, General O. Howard began operating the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands that was popularly called the Freedmen's Bureau. Just like modern day affirmative action programs, the Peru's short-lived program for freedmen was broadened to provide benefits for poor people and Southern whites who received the lion's share of the benefits. By including whites and other groups, the racial inequalities and hierarchy remain unchanged. Since Black Americans are still burdened by the legacies of slavery and Jim Crow segregation, government still has a legal and moral obligation to place Blacks in a protected class, just like American Indians and women. Contrary to the wishes of Black civil rights leaders, it should not be necessary for Black Americans to compete with an endless list of newly declared minorities who the government qualifies for affirmative action benefits that they have not earned. So see, if America gonna continue to do these things, and she has. We can't trust that she won't. She need to just go ahead and give us all the coins, all the money, give us the printing machine, however many it is that they using, the die machines to print this money, this currency, so we could be able to provide for ourselves. We don't need nothing from you. At this point right here, we don't even want, need, or look for a doctrine of trust from these people, from your government. That's how I feel about it. We just want the machine. Just give us the whole building machine. We might need our own building. Yeah, ain't no telling what's in between the crevices of them concrete bricks and stuff, in the mortar, them walls and stuff. Yeah, just give us the machine and stuff. Give us everything, all the equipment. Don't burn no more money. Don't melt down no more coins and stuff. Have some integrity about yourself. Have some humanity about yourself. Finally, white America, white people, period, all of it. And just know that you keep doing this and condoning this silent agreement to condone all of these agendas and events and stuff, it ain't gonna end well for you. Maybe y'all don't really care and be concerned about your future legacies, because it's always been a silver spoon for you. You've always had somebody to oppress, but it don't look like you will anymore, unless it's gonna be another group of people. It won't be Black people no more. Georgia, a buffer zone. In 1732, England issued a royal charter to establish the Georgia colony. Georgia was unique because it came into existence as the 13th colony, as a socio-political experiment to protect the other colonies. In response to the 1705 slave codes and Diversity Act that required 5 white persons to be available to supervise and monitor every Black slave, several philanthropic individuals in London decided to establish the Georgia colony as a buffer colony and to inhabit it with white people from England's debtor prisons. Yeah, they moved in white people from England's debtor prisons, from the poverty rolls, and the mental institutions. Crazy as fuck. Ass is just crazy than a loony boom, but got rid of them. They got rid of them. Oh, yeah. Honey, they established their Georgia colony and sent out, yep. South Carolina plantation owners were concerned about physical attacks from runaway slaves and Indians who lived in Florida, and had long petitioned the Continental Congress to establish some kind of a buffer between South Carolina and Spanish-owned Florida. The Indians and runaway slaves were such a problem to the slave owners that they saw no reason to oppose the British government's decision to empty out their institutions and ship all of their criminals and cast-offs to Georgia. So see, yeah, and we finna ship all their asses, all y'all asses right back. Yeah. So that yeah. Ooh-wee. I'm just thinking, what we reading about on Midnight with the Ancestors, the savage and the ravishness. So these crazy people, there ain't no way to tell them apart. They gonna have, if they need to, if they want to, they must distinguish themselves from the crazy psychoticness within them, the cannibalistic instincts, that beast nature. within them. Because we can't do it. But I'm just trying to connect the dots now. Let's read. However, 3 decades later, when the state of Georgia was threatened by hostile Indians and Florida Spaniards, the Georgia colony was short of able-bodied outcasts to fight its battles because it had all the weak, vulnerable miscreants, I guess. Yeah, that's a new word too. In Georgia, so they weren't able to, to defend themselves and stuff and to fight them battles and stuff. This time, the colonial government encouraged free blacks to migrate into Georgia with all these crazy ass white folks and defend the state. Use you again. Yeah, well, since the people we brought over here from England, they asked when they supposed to be here, get the hell up out of here. Find out who them families was. Trace back their lineages. Trace back their lineages. All the maiden names and stuff, go back to them. Back to 1705, when the Georgia colony was established. Get their asses up out of here. Everybody got to go. Yep, everybody got to go. You know, told everybody to leave, go back where you come from so long. Now everybody finna tell you got to go. I'm just saying. All of this right here, wow. Many blacks did. And in return for their services, the state promised to grant them the same rights as a person born of British parents, which it never did. What the fuck British got to do with it? But I guess it was 1705, and I guess all of that, had something to do with the lie. British parents. Whoa. However, it never did. Yep, they never did nothing they said they were going to do. However, a mulatto class of free blacks who passed for white did live reasonably well in Atlanta, Georgia, during slavery and Jim Crow segregation. But they couldn't let it be known that they were black. Yep, and all the lies and the assaults and the plans that white people were talking about doing to black people stuff, they had to bite their tongue. They couldn't let them know, yeah, I'm black. I'm really black. I'm going to let black people know what your ass talking about. Not then. They had to play the role and stuff. A rhyme in the black town of Boley, Boley. Yeah, it's a rhyme. A rhyme in the black town of Boley. Say, have you heard the story of a little colored town way over in the nation on such a lovely sloping ground with as pretty little houses as you ever chanced to meet, with not a thing but colored folks or standing in the streets? I like that. Oh, 'tis a pretty country, and the Negroes own it too, with not a single white man here to tell us what to do in Boley. Yep, I like that. I like that vision, honey. Where is Bolden? I'm just saying. Who wear black maroons? Yeah. Now I've heard about the Moors and the maroons and stuff. Yeah, let's just read. It was a lot. Learning so much. School ain't never taught us none of this. Who were black maroons? Fugitive slaves had no interest in returning to white plantations. They wanted to live in separate communities with their own leaders, political systems, and resources. They built economically independent and self-sufficient communities in wildernesses, or wherever they could find a safe haven in the Americas or the Caribbean islands. They wanted to make it as difficult as possible for slave chasers to find them. Runaways who survived combined their skills and resources to build homes, raise crops, and livestock. And see, they really weren't criminals. They were men, ex-slaves. Just because the law said that they were fugitives, they were criminals. They weren't criminals. The criminals were after them. The criminals were after them. Every last one of them. Yeah. All of them, white people, y'all descendants of some criminals. Yeah, y'all ancestors, y'all ancestors is criminals. I'll have you know that we know. Yeah. In some instances, they created alliances with Indians, pirates, and other social outcasts. Successful communities armed themselves and challenged the notion of black slavery and white European dominance. Runaways called their newly formed independent colonies maroon communities. The largest, most successful, and durable maroon communities were in Spanish Florida before it became a part of the United States. Oh, we on chapter 10. Look, you see that right there? We is on chapter 10. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gratitude to you. Good day and gratitude to you. Keep your happiness. Keep a song in your heart. Stay grateful. Yes, always remember and thank your ancestors. Yeah, thank your ancestors, honey. Chapter 10, Military and Wars. Black Americans were soldiers in war times and hated third-class citizens in times of peace. Yeah, Black Americans, black men, they were soldiers in the wars. But they were hated third-class citizens when there wasn't no wars going on. I didn't even know that black men served in all of the wars in this country, y'all. School ain't taught us a motherfucking thing. Sure ain't. Them little bitty paragraphs they might have said. I'm just saying. And then one of the wars, was it the Revolutionary War? One of them. Black men fought in the war and then went back and was enslaved again. Yep, one of the first wars, the early wars. Black men went and fought in the war. If they weren't killed in the war and stuff, they had to go back and be enslaved again. Up until the Civil War came. In the 1860s, this is many facts. In the 1860s, Stan Watie, W-A-T-I-E, S-T-A-N-D, W-A-T-I-E, a Cherokee chief, was the first Indian appointed to the rank of general in the Southern Confederate Army. And in 1864, Champ Ferguson, a guerrilla fighter for the Southern Confederacy, was hanged in front of U.S. colored troops for reportedly massacring black prisoners. And that was in 1864. On October the 1st, 1890, Augustus Wally, W-A-L-L-E-Y, a black Buffalo soldier, was awarded the Medal of Honor for bravery in rescuing a wounded trooper under fire by Apache Indians. And that was 1890. In 1943, Lieutenant Charles Hawes of the Tuskegee Airman 99th Pursuit Squadron. That's the Tuskegee Airman 99th Pursuit Squadron. You won't find it now if you try to pull it up. This is one of those that the Rump administration erased. They were the first black pilot. He was the first black pilot to shoot down a Nazi plane. His squadron did not lose a single American bomber. None. And his name was Lieutenant Charles Hall. Yeah. Hannibal, mystery genius. Oh, you know, we learned about some soldiers too before I go on. We learned about some soldiers too in our earlier readings. We read about Robert Small, William Whipple. Yeah, we read about a couple of them. We read about all of the soldiers that won some of the medals. Yeah, phenomenal. Brilliant. And some of them wars and stuff, black men were the ones coming back with the most prestigious medals. I believe that's why the massacre of Carswell Grove with Joe Ruffin, I believe that's why it started, because of the celebration. You know, all them soldiers were there and they was having a celebration, like 3,000 black men, y'all. They had on their uniforms. They had on their hat. Their shoes were shining with the sunlight. Their medals. Oh, honey, their medals was just blinging, honey. The sun would just catch your eye on it, wave from across the park. So they were celebrating and stuff. Black people was a parade. And two white men, a sheriff and a deputy, went to the celebration, and they were coming back with a black man. And he seen Joe Ruffin going to the celebration. And Joe was a wealthy black man. He had his own cars, he owned his own land, his own house, his own animals, his own tools. Everything was his. So the black man seen Joe. Joe seen him because Joe, what are these white people doing out here? Where are they coming from? They claimed they was looking for illegal liquor. Somebody was selling moonshine or something, some lie. So they pulled over and talked to each other and stuff. And he was like, Joe will post my bail at $175. And Joe had it, and they knew Joe had it. But Joe was like, I'm going to the parade now. I'll bring it to you later. You know me, I know you. You know I got it. You know I know him. We ain't going nowhere. This is where we live. This is where my homestead is. But they wouldn't do it. So something ensued, a word or another and stuff, and then the gun went off, and the sheriff was shot. Cause Joe was standing on the riding thing on side of the police car. I guess he was standing up like that talking, and then the sheriff had got out and they was talking to each other and stuff. I don't know how it fell out and stuff. We can read it again though, and that's the beginning of Red Summer, I believe. And the gun went off, and the sheriff was killed and stuff, and then the deputy shot, and Joe was shot in the head. It grazed him and stuff. But the riot took off from there. The massacre took off from there. The man that was in the back seat, I believe he was killed. Joe's two sons were hanged and thrown in a burning church. They whole body, adult men. Yeah, they flung them in that burning church just like they did that little bitty baby when they hung the mama and the daddy. And the baby was running around crying and stuff. And they picked the baby up. And as they were riding away on the horses, the white men, the Klan men and stuff, they threw that baby in that burning church. Well, that's how they did Joe's sons. And it said the next day you didn't know which son got the chain and which son had the rope around their neck. That's how gruesome it was and stuff. These things like this and stuff are very telling to us, letting us know which way to go, what to do here. Your Bible, you keep ignoring it. It's been telling you to come out from under them, get away from them, don't procreate with them. We supposed to be having black babies. I know. The babies is beautiful with other people and stuff. That's because it's got you in them. That's because it's got that magic from Black America in them. All babies is beautiful, though, you know. Some of them were sinners and stuff, grew up to be sinners. And that became a part of their culture because if history happened again, them same people would do the same thing. They would do the same thing. You be seeing little bitty white girls, 4 years old, running around here with slaves. Yeah, nanny slave. I mean, just bullshit. Nothing never changes. It just stay the same. Look different. Hannibal, military genius. With his military concepts and tactics of warfare being taught in military academies around the world, Hannibal is recognized as the greatest warrior and military mind the world has ever seen. Hannibal's father introduced him to warfare, warfare. I ain't saying welfare. I'm saying warfare. Warfare. Hannibal's father introduced him to warfare during an unsuccessful campaign in the First Punic War. Hannibal swore to his father an eternal hatred for Rome. Hannibal assumed control of the Carthaginian army while in his mid-20s. Driven by a hatred for Romans, he and his troops marched through Spain and France. He challenged the Roman Empire and conquered most of Italy by performing the astounding feat of crossing the Alps with 50,000 men and 40 elephants. His guerrilla warfare tactics and strategies are still taught in military courses around the world. What is not widely known and accepted, according to J.A. Rogers. Oh, J.A. Rogers, I'm looking for his book, Stolen Legacy. I ain't seen it yet. I found stolen gold or something when I see that book, but I was like, I'm getting close, ancestors. They gonna put it in my hands. Watch and see. Yep. What is not widely known and accepted, according to J.A. Rogers, is the reality that Hannibal was a full-blooded black man. Hannibal was born about 247 BC, northeast of modern Tunis in North Africa. He was a full-blooded black man. See, no matter what's being erased and hidden, honey, you the power. You the greatest power. You could create the sun if you want to. You can turn the sun up. Black people, we gonna turn the sun up. We gonna turn it up. Oh yeah. The only first-hand information available about Hannibal is in the writings of white Romans, who respected and feared his military genius, but hated him as an enemy. Consequently, they usually depicted Hannibal as a white man. Ain't that some big? Yep. They usually depicted Hannibal as a white man. However, J.A. Rogers asserts that coins in the British Museum in England and the Museo Cucuriano Museum in Rome, Italy, show Hannibal to have been a pure African with rings in his ears. And that's the Museo, M-U-S-E-O, Cucuriano Museum, Kercheriano, Cucuriano. Yeah. A.J. Rogers quoted Colonel Hennebert, 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 a leading authority of Hannibal, who said, "We do not possess any authentic portrait of Hannibal, but these coins were struck by Hannibal when he was in Italy. In the absence of other information, the most logical argument is that they bore his own effigy, Effigy. Above all, let us remember that he was an African. Remember Fort Negro, a black Alamo. Long before Florida became a part of the United States, it was a sanctuary for thousands of runaway slaves seeking freedom and a better life. Equally, a countless number of international crimes and horrendous injustices were committed against black people in Florida. It was. They probably were unmentionable. Oh, the massacre of nearly 300 black women and children at Fort Negro on the Apalachicola. Yeah. Apalachicola. Let me read it again. Spell it out again. Apalachicola. Apalachicola River. Yeah. The massacre of nearly 300 black women and children at the Fort Negro on the Apalachicola River was one of those incidents. In the 17th and 18th centuries, England, Spain, and the American colonies were locked into a struggle over the development of southeastern North America. The Spanish crown, the owners of the Florida territory, invited black people to migrate to and live in Florida. In two separate treaties, one in 1795 and the other one in 1819, the Spanish crown declared all blacks living in Florida free citizens and therefore entitled to all the rights and all the privileges of citizenship. The British fought and lost 2 wars with America. The last one was in 1812. After that loss, though, the British decided they could get back at America by going into Spain's Florida territory and providing free blacks money, military resources, and fortified communities. The English helped blacks build, own, and control Fort Negro, which was situated on 8 acres at Prospect Bluff on the Apalachicola River in Spanish West Florida. Fortified communities such as Fort Negro on the Apalachicola River and Fort Muse, M-U-S-E, near Jacksonville, Florida, gave black people a strong military presence in Florida. I only went to Florida one time. I went to Delano. Yeah. Fort Gaston, built in 1814 by Lieutenant Colonel Edward Nichols, His Majesty's Marines, as a rallying point to encourage the Seminole Indians to ally themselves with England against the United States in the War of 1812. Yep, His Majesty's Marine. It was built in 1814 by Lieutenant Colonel Edward. Abandoned after 1814, it was occupied by a band of free Negroes, and it was known by 1816 as the Negro Fort that we just read about. Its location in Spanish Florida did not deter Major General Andrew Jackson from ordering its elimination as a threat to American commerce on the Apalachicola River. And then this other one right here said Fort Gaston on July the 27th, 1816. It's side A and B. On July the 27th, 1816, Lieutenant Colonel Duncan L. Clinch, Clinch, with U.S. forces and 150 Creek Indians fired on the fort, the Negro Fort. And they fired on the fort and destroyed it with a hot shot cannonball, which exploded in the powder magazine, killing all of them but 30 of the 300 occupants. Killed everybody but 30 people. In 1818, General Jackson directed Lieutenant James Gadsden, Gadsden, to build Fort Gadsden here, in spite of Spanish protests. Oh, ain't that some shit? I hope the ancestors running all through that motherfucker right now if it's still standing. I do. In 1818, General Jackson directed Lieutenant James Gadsden to build Fort Gadsden here, where Fort Negro was, and they blew it up. In spite of the Spanish protests, Confederate troops occupied the fort until July 1863, when malaria forced its abandonment. I'm glad. And we just read the front and back sign at the original site of Fort Negro in the Apalachicola National Forest, Florida. See, if you go there now, if you close to it, you anywhere near it and stuff, you go there, you'll see that. It's the front and back sign at the original site. Fort Negro became a problem for the United States government and Southern businesses that were illegally using the Apalachicola River to transport slave-produced products from Tennessee to the Gulf of Mexico. Y'all know your rump done turned the Gulf of Mexico. The part that the United States own is like 22 miles or something like that into the Gulf of America. Nearly 1,000 Black Maroons and Black Seminoles inhabited Fort Negro and monitored the river's boat traffic. White planters and businessmen were angry that their slave-produced products could be controlled by Blacks at Fort Negro, and feared that the very existence of a free slave community would serve as a magnet to attract more runaways. So see, because Black people were there and in control of it stuff, all of the slave-produced products went through there. So white people was angry about that and stuff. And then they thought that, oh, this gonna look good for Black people to come and stuff. Yeah, just all of this. They got so much fear. They ain't got no faith. No, they ain't got no faith, no courage. Just so scary. Even though Fort Negro, Florida, was in a foreign country, slaveholders convinced General Andrew Jackson to invade Florida, destroy all the Black forts and Black communities, and capture any runaway Black slaves. In 1816, General Jackson launched his first attack on Fort Negro. The fort was a massive structure located atop a 12-foot bluff with walls 18 feet thick and 12 feet high. Undeterred, General Jackson sent 800 American soldiers and 150 Creek Indians down the Apalachicola River to attack the fort. At the time of the attack, most of the men were away from the fort. Only 15 men guarded the fort, and the 270 Black women and children who were inside. Everybody else was gone. These crooked ass motherfuckers. For more than 2 weeks, neither General Jackson's soldiers nor his naval fleet could mount the fort's wall or best the Black riflemen. 100 Black men was on it. And it wasn't but 15 of them there. But honey, they held it down. That's where it come from. Hold down the fort. That's where it come from, baby. Hold down the fort, black people. Hold it down. Hold it down. You can do this. We got this. You build your moat if you got to. Build your moat if you got to. Fortify your home. So them motherfuckers bought in a bomb. Them son of bitches. Them motherfuckers. For more than 2 weeks, neither General Jackson's soldiers nor his naval fleet could mount the fort's wall or best the black riflemen. Honey, we the best at everything we do. We dominate. I ain't got to fear that, though, because we ain't no evil, vengeful people. See, they ain't got to fear that. The fort's defenders fought fiercely. That is until the United States naval vessel fired a heated cannonball that bounced into the fort's armory and set off a massive explosion. Them son of a bitches ain't shit. Ooh, hell no, I don't forgive nothing. The explosion destroyed Fort Negro and killed nearly 300 women and children, innocent babies. Babies in their sleep. Babies that were resting, babies that were playing, babies that were learning, babies that were being consoled and oh hell no, and loved and stuff. There go a bee, honey. Ancestors, get his ass up out of here. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. Where's my little? It ain't for bees though. I think it's for mosquitoes. But I sure don't want his ass in there. Oh, you gonna be biting on me today, honey? You a lie. You a motherfucking lie. Yes, honey. Where is it at? I got some, it's a mosquito repellent cord. I don't know if I want to use that because you got to light it. You got to light it. I got one for sister too, but this right here might do it. And it's really just for, it's gone, but I'm going to put this up anyway. This right here is for mosquito coils and stuff. I got one for sister too. When she get her garden started and stuff. And she be sitting outside. Now this right here is some house plant pest traps. 100 that bee right there. I'm just gonna stick one on the wall. His heavy ass will be stuck up there because it was a big bee. It looked full grown. It looked full grown. Yeah, I would have just picked them off and threw them over somewhere. You know, I ain't say I won't kill them. Yeah, but I don't want them here. And damn, there go another little bitty bumblebee. Look like a yellow jack. Oh shit, I know they ain't trying to get my vegetables. Oh no, that's not gonna happen. Honey, you better get on away from over here. I'm just saying, let's read so I can get on the, yeah, finish this right here. Oh, that smells good. You can smell it already. Yes, the black men, honey. Shout out to all black men just because. Yes, shout out to black men just because, honey. Ooh, thank you, my ancestors. Hold down the fort, y'all. The fort's defenders fought fiercely. That is until the United States naval vessel fired a heated cannonball that bounced into the fort's armory and set off a massive explosion. The explosion destroyed Fort Negro and killed nearly 300 women and children. Their body parts were burned and were buried in massive graves in the rear of the fort. Today, the burial spots are marked by a plaque and noticeable depressions in the earth. Noticeable depressions in the earth. I might want to put this on my bucket list too. I got a little bucket list I'm still working on. I'm working on a bucket list. The commemorative plaque reads, "This is the burial site of 270 renegade black slaves." Webster's Standardized Dictionary defines renegades as a group who abandons one's group interests and cause to take up the interest and cause of another. Were the runaways renegades? Quite the opposite. They were innocent women and children fighting for their freedom and their lives. The U.S. government subsequently built a much smaller fort called Fort Gaston within the footprint of the old Fort Negro. Fort Gaston was burned down 2 years after it was built. Today, tourist signs and information identify the site as Fort Gaston instead of Fort Negro. Motherfuckers still don't want to do right. Still don't want to do right. Mm-mm. For over a century, the Spanish government had invited blacks, including these nearly 300 black freedom fighters and their ancestors, to live in Spanish Florida. Spain Spain guaranteed Spain guaranteed them freedom and all the rights of citizenship. Honey. So see, some people did try to come through and help us and assist us in some ways. I ain't saying that they didn't. A generation after General Jackson's invasion and the three Seminole Wars, the United States marched white Indians, black Seminoles, and recalcitrant runaways to Oklahoma Territory in what is commonly called the Trail of Tears. This trail began running at the mass grave site behind Fort Negro on the Apalachicola River. Wow, that's all tied in together there. It's all, yeah. Spies for the Union. One of America's little-known secrets is the key role that blacks played in the Civil War. Contrary to popular history, the nearly 5 million free and enslaved blacks were not passive observers. From the outset, the Union military had a great advantage it termed black dispatches, which referred to intelligence slaves collected about the Confederate forces. The Northern Union Army found the prolific information it received from free and enslaved blacks the single most productive category of intelligence obtained by and acted upon by Union forces throughout the Civil War. Union military leaders counted on their black spies. The Southern Confederacy was very aware of the damage that black soldiers and spies were inflicting. Harriet Tubman was a spy. We learned that in one of our morning books. Yep. In May 1863, General Lee admitted that the chief source of information to the enemy is through our Negroes. General Lee was not the only white Southerner making such public statements. Patrick Cleburne, Cleburne, a prominent Arkansas lawyer, argued that the primary reason the South was losing the war was because while black slaves were the South's strength at the beginning of the war, they soon became the South's weakness. Cleburne felt that free and bonded blacks were an omnipresent spy system, pointing out our valuable men to the enemy, revealing our positions and our resources, and yet acting so safely and secretly that there is no means to guard against it. Union military leaders counted on their black spies. Slaves were more than just spies, though. Millions of free and bonded blacks worked as soldiers, cooks, personal attendants, medical aides, construction workers, common laborers, guides, advisors, and rescuers. The more adventurous free and bonded blacks spied and reported on Confederate troop movements and fortifications. Blacks aided the escape of many Union soldiers from prison camps, providing them with food, clothing, and hiding them within slave cabins. When the time was right, blacks guided escaping Union soldiers back to their own military lines using a covert network. Blacks gave the North an advantage over the South because the South Confederacy was surrounded by and depended on its free and bonded blacks, who were more than willing to cooperate with the North. The South's detachment was reality. The South's detachment from reality became its weakness. Until the final days of the war, ranking officials in the Confederacy, as well as slave owners, continued to believe they had good relationships with their blacks, who they thought were happy as slaves. All right, this is the last one right here. Intelligent quote. We're going to end with that. In order to get beyond racism, we must first take account of race. There is no other way. In order to treat persons equally, we must treat them differently. Statement by Supreme Court Justice Harry Blackmun in the Regents of the University of California versus Bake case in 1978. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Bakke. Bake. I know, right? But yeah, we're gonna end right there and stuff. And I thank you so much because we are on channel. We are on chapter 11. Or was it chapter 10? I think it's chapter 10, yeah. And then we'll be on chapter 11 and stuff. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go get me some more sowing and stuff, y'all. My mind is just, yeah, I gotta really get my garden going and stuff here. And y'all, it's a beautiful day out here today too. Start your garden. Go out and start your little bitty one. Yeah, just start your little bitty one. It'll grow from there. That gratitude gonna help it just grow and expand, honey. Yes. Oh, I'm just so grateful. Thank you, ancestor. And the bee gone. The smell from that little thing, I guess. Yeah, I'm like, your ass won't bite me today. Shit. Let's get some gratitude and a song. Yeah, and then we can get on out of here. Gratitude, y'all. Please keep gratitude in your heart. Keep some gratitude in your heart, your mind, your spirit. Even when you ain't got nothing else to say, even when you at your worst, you just feel like just busting out crying or busting out cussing. You don't know which one. Just throw some gratitude in there. Throw some gratitude in there, and it's gonna solve that question for you right there. Gratitude gonna get you on the right path. As soon as you wake up in the morning, give thanks. Give thanks, honey. Thank your ancestors. Let's try something new. Okay. Thank your ancestors. If you still thanking your higher power, that's good. Add your ancestors to it. Add your ancestors to it and watch the abundance come for you. Gratitude, it shields you from negativity. It makes you at least 25% happier. Now, you can't be that low of happiness, even that you breathe it. You breathe it. And you got to at least have some modicum of happiness within you. Gratitude gonna multiply it, gonna triple it. Gratitude gonna make you 25% happier. So just give yourself permission to get it. It's free. It's free. You giving it to yourself. It ain't costing you a thing. Ain't nobody even gotta know you giving it to you. You say it under your breath. Gratitude, that's it. You say it under your breath. You say it in a car. Gratitude. People ain't gotta know. People ain't gotta know. But see, we want our better halves to know these things. Yeah, I don't want Nancy to be complaining all day and irritable and agitated and just frustrated and stuff. What you mad for, girl? Shit, you act like hell. It's just pouring down raining bombs. And it ain't. So let's just help each other. Gratitude rewires your brain, it eliminates stress, and it heals you. Gratitude improves your sleep because you can feel it. You can feel better. That's that abundance coming to you. It improves your sleep, it boosts your self-esteem and your performance. Gratitude enhances the law of attraction. Whatever you're grateful for, more and the same is coming towards you. It's coming towards you. Just don't shut the door. Don't shut the door now. Just like riding a bicycle. Once you push off that curve and you get to going paddling real good, you got to stay paddling. As soon as you stop paddling and that bike stop accelerating, you're going to fall over. You got to keep the gratitude coming. And gratitude improves your relationships. Oh, honey. Yes, when you grateful and your relationships, whether it be with your mama, your lover, your husband, your child, whatever, it's going to multiply it and stuff. Everybody, they're going to be coming with more for you to just be grateful for and stuff. It's going to make them feel good. That's where it comes to generosity, being generous with each other, being gentle with each other. Now we're going to get us, what about singing? Let's get us some knowledge on singing because I did not know that singing, honey, activates your whole brain. Your whole brain activated from a song. From a song. And you know whose song. You know who the songbirds are. You know where that music that touches every fiber in your body come from Black people. I ain't saying other folks ain't got some wonderful music and stuff too. Hindu music is all right. Govinda. It's all right for them. I'll listen to it every blue moon and stuff. If I see it in the suggestions, might put it on. But for me, our music is where it's at for us. You see, everybody got their own keys. But white folks ain't got no keys. Cosmic energy didn't give white folks any keys to anything. It didn't give them no keys to creating and contributing and being selfless and grateful and being humane and stuff. White folks have to learn and copy these things from other people. And then they create shit that look glittery and glimmering and stuff like that, but it's really a cage. All that glitter and stuff, that's really a cage for you to be in and stuff. You ain't gonna be able to get out of it. I'm just saying, in my opinion. But singing joyful or expressive songs, y'all, it'll nourish your heart. It can balance your emotions and uplift your spirits. Honey, you be feeling good when you be singing Earth, Wind, and Fire. Ooh, that was my mama's favorite song. Yeah, and it make you feel good. You remember how it made her feel good. How can we get away from our very keys that belong to us, that's for us? Well, nothing but goodness with them. Y'all remember Soul Train? Wasn't nobody drunk, wasn't nobody high, wasn't nobody trying to argue, wasn't nobody flirting, trying to cheat, trying to steal the money off the stage that Don Cornelius had over there, where you come in and you give your donations and your tidings, and yeah, well, none of that going on and stuff. It was the music. It was the music. Singing help expand your lungs and improve your oxygen intake. Yeah, open your nose up, son. Open your nose up like they supposed to be, so we can breathe. Sing. When you singing and stuff, honey, that opens up you get so much oxygen in your lungs and stuff. Your oxygen, your lungs is like them little hairs on your lungs and stuff. I forgot what they call, but they just sticking out, reaching for more. That oxygen. And because we ain't breathing properly, I didn't know either. Yeah, and that's a challenge now. I went to that breathing class and stuff, and I'm trying to focus on breathing and stuff. It don't seem like it with y'all because I'm hyped up when I'm talking to us about us and stuff. But I'm trying to work on my breathing and stuff, because breathing is our life force. It's our life force. Not only is your skin breathing, we breathing. We breathing. So yeah, and it matters and stuff. But I just want to say, when you singing, sing with your whole heart. I mean, your whole chest. You sang that song, honey. You belt out that Stephanie Mills home. The power of love. Honey, you already know the music I'm talking about. And honey, your lungs gonna love you and stuff. Honey, put that song on repeat. Get your playlist out that your mama had. You know you got it. Some of y'all still got your playlist your mama and your dad and your great aunties and them used to listen to. Put that on. Put that on. Put on your vinyl records if you still got your record player. Shit, the hell with what everybody else want to be playing. Oh no, I'm gonna put on BB. I'm finna put on Queen B. Yeah, love up in this club. Now, honey, we finna put on some motherfucking Al Green up in here, and we gonna turn it up. Sha la 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 la. Oh baby, I'm just saying. Now we gotta take control of these things. We gotta set some boundaries on something. I love in this club. I remember I liked that song, but that's for it ain't for here or now. You gotta use discernment for everything and stuff. There's a time for this and there's a time for that. And when you sing, y'all, it helps regulate emotions like frustration, anger, stress, doubt, fear, whatever it is. When you sing it, it rushes it right on out. It flushes it out of your liver. Yep. Your liver collecting all of them emotions and stuff. Sure wheels, honey. Your liver is collecting everything, just gathering up in your liver. Hell, it ain't that big. Your liver ain't that big. That's why even when you eat, even when you having sex, even when you should be the most happiest person. Somebody just walked up to you and, hey, sister, I'm giving everybody $5. I'm going to give you 10, and you thank you. Because you got all that built up in you and stuff, and it's blocking you being able to be your true self. Yep. It happens to us all the time and stuff. I don't really see people that's really down and out and stuff, because I'm ready to ask somebody, what's your favorite song? Yeah, what's your favorite song? I mean, yeah, within reason though. I don't try to be rude and get in nobody's personal space, because you don't know what people is going through today. And especially us. We don't know what we're going through today. We're going through a whole lot. So you got to use discernment and stuff, but we got to break the ice with us and let us know that we're here for each other. We must survive, y'all. That's all I'm saying. And last but not least, honey, when you singing, it can strengthen your kidney energy. because your kidneys is fostering the same vocal expressions that you doing. When you singing them high notes, you hit that bridge. Oh, honey, your kidneys is too. I'm just saying, we need all the healing we can get and see cosmic energy. That's all we are, cosmic energy. Yep, cosmic energy. It's us. And it gave us all of these keys to use. We don't even got to pay for them. We ain't got to pay for these keys. No, we don't come together. You think about it yourself. You can come up with the next song, that permeates our emotions and get us to thinking and caring for each other and loving for each other and stuff like that. Because we don't do those things anymore. Because we know white America fears that. That's that black dominance. Yeah. And they fear that, but honey, they're gonna have to do something with their fear. They're gonna have to do something with their fear. They ass scared. We ain't. And they ain't even got no reason to be scared. We ain't showed no signs of getting their ass back and making them pay and stuff, honey. That's for the ancestors to do. And they gonna do it. Now, if anything, the ass should know after all this time that we ain't trying to hurt them. We ain't no threat to them. We could have at least been some mercy for them for all that they've already done. They already done did it. They forefathers done did all this shit already. Yeah, we could have been some mercy for them today. But now, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. They finna get what they deserve. And with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. Let's go enjoy our day. And don't forget, it's dandelions out there now. Go pick some dandelions. Pick you some dandelions. I'm just saying, I was thinking I'm gonna pick some and just grow them, see if they're gonna grow on my patio. No, I'm gonna blow them. Maybe I can find some dandelion seeds. How would I get to grow some on my patio and some soil? I love dandelions, honey. Yeah, I'm just saying. And dandelion roots is good for heart health too. You can eat them too. You so welcome. Oh, Ashby, thank you. Oh, Aura Aroma, you from Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you, my sister. Oh, we love you. Yeah, I'm from down that way too. Yeah, we get around though. Gratitude is the attitude. It sure wills, honey. Ain't nobody got to know why you so happy though. They trying to figure it out. Why she so happy? What's going on with Face? Oh, she got paid today. Oh, she got her son. Well, she won the lottery. What's going on? Just gratitude. You just let them know. Shit, it ain't nothing to harbor for ourselves. Not for us. We all want to eat. Let them know, honey. It's just being grateful. Just be grateful. Think about it. Whatever your favorite song is and stuff, sing it when you need it. Honey, I remember one day I sang Good Times back to back for like 20 minutes. I sure did. I'm going through some things. But it did what it was supposed to do. I love y'all. Peace and power to the people. And keep your ancestors first. This is about us now. We ain't harming nobody. We ain't doing nothing wrong, y'all. We just trying to make sure we going to be okay. We grabbing all that we got within us from the cosmos, the creator, the higher power, as y'all like to say, and stuff for us. And we ain't harming nobody and hurting nobody to get it. We not. I promise you we not. Peace and power to the people. I love y'all to life and afterlife.